What's initiative?
It says which order we attack in.
I punch the initiative.
I've said it before and I'll say it again and again. I love a playful narrative style in games. It might not be appropriate for, say, Tomb Raider or The Last of Us, but for quite a few games it's not that much of a stretch to push the storytelling into areas not often explored. So with Tiny Tina's Assault and Dragon Keep, I'm happy to say that it positively oozes this kind of inventive storytelling, and everybody with the Season Pass will get to enjoy this as the final piece of DLC in the package. Throughout Borderlands 2, you have, on occasion, bumped into some of the Vault Hunters from the original game, and in Assault on Dragon Keep, you play as these characters as they play in a game of Dungeons and Dragons called Bunkers and Badasses, with Tiny Tina acting as the Dungeon Master. You'll have to excuse me playing in the background where I'm running around without any abilities. I, didn't think to unlock the Commando's powers when I was handed a level 32 character to play with. But in terms of gameplay, everything picks up just as it was before. You're running around with whatever character you've curated through the main game, shooting everything, completing missions, and looting everything that you can see. But everything else around you is completely different. You're now in a fantasy setting with quaint villages and towns, mysterious and deadly forests, and no doubt a giant keep at the end of all of this, which may or may not include a dragon. You'll also be going up against fantasy enemies such as skeletons or dragons, or the DLC's main boss, who is a particularly handsome sorcerer, shall we say. But through all of this, you've got the decidedly fickle Tiny Tina messing around with the game. She can change her mind about things at the drop of a hat, so one moment it's lovely and sunny, the next it's eternal night, courtesy of some lovely environmental effects to illustrate this shift.
Whoops. What I meant to say is, it's eternal night, and you hear spooky music, and the whole area kind of smells like butts and dead people.
Kinda smells like butts. Dead people.
Or she's inserting fan-favourite characters like Mr. Torg, who will cause their own particularly special kind of carnage. The kind where you might be flung off the side of the map, or told to blow up the ocean.
Time out! I gotta take this. This Tina.
It's Mr. Torg! Tina! Put me in the game!
Okay! The gatekeeper is now Mr. Torg.
Woo!
The only real downside through all of this is that it's not you who's calling the shots here. As soon as you step off the boat at the start, with Tiny Tina having set the scene, it's not you that decides that you want to go and investigate the town, but rather the original Vault Hunters who are playing this game within a game. And it's mainly Lilith who does all the talking as well. It also seems like this is all largely continuing to disguise the fetch quests, missions of wading through enemies, and the core mechanic which hurls endless loot in your direction. But overall, it's still a lovely twist on the storytelling from Borderlands 2, which was, in and of itself, already really quite well received. It will call back many players' favourite characters to interact with, give a wonderful new setting for the gameplay, and has the ability to really play with your expectations and get you laughing as you're playing it. It's definitely set to give fans more of what they want in the game, and as a pack, it's set to easily eclipse anything that's gone before it in terms of scale and game time. All of which should really help the Season Pass finish on quite a high note when it's released on PSN, Xbox Live and PC on June the 25th.
You enter the Forest of Tranquility!
Tranquility? Boring.
Okay, good point. Dang, now I gotta come up with a better name for the forest.